Right, so we are done with the Mass. So it's the Feast of the Pentecost for all the Catholics now. So here we got it's my first time to get a gift from the Holy Spirit. So the sisters, Saint Scholastica sisters, prepared a gift for all the parishioners who came to attend Mass. And so the plan for after the Mass would be I'll show you where I buy fruits. Here in Saints Co, there is a nearby fruit stand where I buy my banana. Right? So now the thing with vlogging is it's more like it's more of a metacognition. So I do rehearse first. There is actually basically there's no script. But then what I do is I rehearse. So basically it's more of talking to yourself first before I shoot. The thing with vlogging is when you see someone who is talking to himself and holding a camera with tripod, don't think that he's crazy. He's just rehearsing because vlogging is supposed to be spontaneous, so there's really no script. So what I do, even there's no outline, so I don't use outlining. I just have some sort of a storyline in mind. So the storyline for this Sunday is feeding the soul. So that's basically my storyline for this event. So I'm covering, as I said a while ago, we are covering our faith, our spirituality. So for the Catholics, for the Christians, happy Pentecost. The priest said happy birthday. So happy birthday to all of us. Alright, so I think we're ready to go to the fruit stand where I buy bananas. I'll show you. Alright, so what I like with the banana here is that it's not, there's class A and B. Sometimes when you buy at the market, we call this in Zamboanga lakatan, but the quality of banana here in Manila is quite different with what we have in Zamboanga City. So more or less this is class B, no, not the reject one. So this usually we see in the market. Wait, hold on. Let's have to be careful in crossing the street. So, as I said, this is good bananas that I buy here are good quality. There are also vegetables here, but I like here are the bananas. Magkano po? Saging. Mas maliit. Ito na lang, oh. This is what I'm telling you. So the quality, delicious. Good source of potassium for those who are hypertensive and for those who have problems with their heart. So you have to take more potassium. Gano? Then I the co-teacher who controls his potassium. So you cannot eat bananas because potassium is also bad for him because he has high potassium level. Ayos na? Yung pipe. Okay, thank you. So, as I was saying, I have a co-teacher in the Far Eastern University in the IS department who has high potassium level. I really thought that eating bananas would be good for everyone. But then there's certain abnormalities for some people. They have very high potassium level. So I asked him, so how is that possible? I asked him if he does eat banana. He said he does not really eat banana because he has high potassium level. So anything in excess would be bad for your health. So that's why, well, for those of you who are hypertensive or who have palpitations in their heartbeat, no? You have to take potassium level. Potassium level should be maintained. So, problem here is I forgot to bring my umbrella. Because my thinking is that we don't really need umbrella because it's still early. But then see, it's 8:20 and yet it's scorching hot already. See, that's the downside of not bringing umbrella. And so my right hand is kind of painful already. So wait, let me just change hand. All right, so we will just walk from Saints Po to Leon Ginto. This is Leon Ginto. I mean, towards Paris. Paris, not Paris. Paris Street. Because where I stay, 2272 is actually near Paris Street. Paris is just fronting Sherwood, where the animals actually enjoy the Happy Thursday. So my place is just near Sherwood. So the plan is I will take my breakfasts, then vlog, edit, then I'll upload this. And then the second plan is I'm going to review a journal article. This is a current study of Carlo Magno. I usually read Carlo Magno because of his precision with the methodology and as well very clear statement of the problem, hypothesis. He's very precise with the design. Research design is very precise. So this one, the paper, I did skim this. I did skimming on this, and then I really find it really robust in terms of theorizing, and as well very appropriate research design because he used an experimental design. So seldom do I appreciate research that would use research design because I'm really keen, very observant. I'm really reading the methodology. For one, I see if the statistics is correct. So Carlo Magno's paper really addressed all the concerns. So in terms of appropriateness of methodology, procedure, materials, pre-tests, intervention, post-test. So that is what we're going to do now. Going to kind of briefly review the paper of Carlo Magno. And then we will try so that you will also have an idea of how it is to do. That's current publication. It's a current publication of Carlo Magno where he used the computer-mediated program as the intervention. In fact, that computer-mediated program is available online. So later, I'll have to read, then just try to briefly have a recap, not recap, but to review the paper so that you will have an idea of how it is to do a good paper using experimental design. Well, for those of you who are really that ambitious in using experimental design. So as I was saying, in in blogging, there's really no script. It's unscripted. So this is supposed to be, well, this is a metacognition in the truest sense of the word. No? Metacognition is like you're verbalizing what you think. So blogging can be that. So it's more of you verbalize your thinking, and then you have to make sure that what you're saying actually makes sense uh, online. So this is online. No? And for one, if you'll observe my blogs, I don't edit. Everything is there. Like for example, I committed an error uh, on Saint Joseph being Saint La Salle Hall. So I realized that after I switched off the camera, I realized that I committed a mistake. But it's okay. You can easily title it like an error. The thing with blogging is you can easily tell your viewers that, okay, so I committed a mistake. So, yeah. The, the funny thing here is that, as I was saying, it's more like when you see someone talking to himself. As I said, before recording, I usually rehearse, no? Rehearse in my mind. It could be verbalized or not. But it's also good if I verbalize it already before I shoot. So verbalizing is already rehearsing, and at times, just rehearsing in my mind. For cognitive psychologists, uh, in cognitive psychology, you would call that you are rehearsing your thoughts before verbalizing. So that is actually in the working memory model of bodily, where before the utterance of the words in the phonological loop, an individual in his brain rehearses before he would utter a word. So rehearsing using your mind is as well a cognitive process. Alright? So, but then it's also good to verbalize because you're already, in terms of articulating the correct sounds or whether or not you're pronouncing the right words. So verbalizing is a good form of rehearsing before the shoot. So this is really very productive. No? Vlogging is productive because you cannot stop the event from happening. Like for example, I was thinking of attending mass, but sometimes because of it depends on the mood at times. When you wake up, you don't feel that good. But then if you are before you sleep, you vlog, and then you're vlogging when you verbalize it already, you recorded it, and then you have to do it. Like for example, this one I already verbalized that I'd be reviewing Carlo Magno's paper, so I have to do it. Otherwise, I don't have any viewers anymore, right? So it's that's the thing with vlogging, because vlogging is supposed to be online, actual happening. You can stop the event from happening. Can't stop the priest from continuing the mass because you are still sleeping. You need to wake up at a certain schedule, attend the mass, be inspired spiritually. You would be able to share good things, good thoughts. Uh, one thing I learned in the masses, priest was talking about the culture of fear, but then of all the things that he said, one statement strikes me, that it's a fresh day to start. Fresh day to start anew. So for us, try to be more compassionate and share peace rather than fear. Share peace, love, compassion rather than rather than fear. I was seated with a I I was seated at the back, and with me was a sister, and then that sister is uh, actually playing and talking with a with a special child. I think the child was 7 years old. And as I look at the sister playing, touching the kid, I already observed that the child was special. So then I was thinking that what a way to show compassion to other people, right? Simple touch, simple smile, simple play. She was holding the hand. The sister was holding the hand of the child. I would want to capture that moment, but then again, there's etiquette in vlogging, so there's no permission, and I'm not supposed to take footages there. But I'm just telling you the story that it's good to see simple act of compassion or random kindness. And I was inspired because I thought, what would happen to that special child? I think the child has autism. What would happen to that child when he grows up? Parents, for example, eventually would pass away. Who would take care of the child? Who? Then the people that would surround him. Relatives, friends, sisters. So God would always, our Creator would always send someone to take care of us. So that's it. So we're just arrived. So I'll just have to edit this, and after that upload, right? So see you later for the review of Carlo Magno's paper. Bye.